your daily financial news. This is, of course, a show we do live, no editing. Basically, read a bunch of things, take some notes for you, talk about what's going on in the day, really with a focus on the consumer because those are our competitors, those are our tenants, and the cost of capital. We obviously touch on other interesting topics that happen from day to day. This is a show that we have been now doing for greater than 2 years. You can go back and see episodes of any day you'd like in the past, at least for the past 2 years. So that's pretty cool. A couple of real quick things to note before we get started. First and foremost, thank you for all the support with this book. We've sold more than 600 copies in the last 5 days. I think a lot of that credit goes to Dion and his discussion on bigger pockets, without question. But I also think this channel is starting to take off. People are appreciating the hope, belief that, you know what, if they do the work, they can move forward. Something that would be really wonderful if you are a new reader of this wonderful book, if you can go to Amazon or Audible. We've done about 300 on each site. And write a quick 5-star review. That would be great. If I could see Amazon get over 500 5-star reviews, that would just put a huge smile on my face, and I would appreciate the support. In addition to that, got 2 important videos up yesterday that you may have missed. First, we put out a walkthrough of our next flip. We closed on this, I think, 10 days ago, but we needed some time to do trash outs and get my team over there. It is now started. So I think that video went live at 8 o'clock. It actually has a thumbnail picture of my puppy, Jordan, black and white Shih Tzu that we lost a couple of years ago. So that's that video. And then probably one of the more important videos I've put out in a while. I've collected 10 traits of self-made millionaires from the over 100 interviews we've done on this channel. I was originally going to put them out one at a time, but that's just not my style. So I had somebody talk to me, Brian, the individual who helps me on this channel, and he just interviewed me and we walked through them. So a video yesterday, it's probably 40 minutes long. Actually, I didn't check, but is that now out? The 10 traits of self-made real estate millionaires. So go check that out. When we're talking about the daily financial news, I guess we got to talk about the stock market first. Wow, hasn't it been a wild ride? I am once again reminded that I enjoy the relatively slow appreciation of real estate investing. If your investments keep you up at night, time to lighten up is what I've always felt. And the stock market has been all over the place. Not only the stock market, but really, I got to be careful. Not the stock market. It's really certain stocks, right? We're back to talking about GameStop near 300. I think Tesla moved like 20% yesterday or something, just crazy. A lot of hot money, a lot of retail investors, fear of missing out. It is going to be interesting to watch this ride. So it's, if it's really that active, it's not really investing, right? Stocks and real estate and assets in generally shouldn't move in 10-point variations, 10% moves day after day after day, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's really a sign that hot money, and you've got Wall Street playing games that really can be playing the retail investor. I believe what might be going on behind the scenes, and we'll see in 2 or 3 weeks, that Wall Street has figured out the playbook to sucker retail investors. Retail investors, Reddit, Robinhood, whatever you like, they got them. You got Wall Street, I don't know, 3 weeks ago. My guess is Wall Street has been plotting its revenge, and I think they're playing you right now. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. Back to a kind of real estate information. Looks like mortgage demand is already taking a hit. Now, these are year-on-year numbers, and we've got to be very careful with year-on-year numbers, but mortgage demand plunged 43% year-on-year. Not as bad when you talk week-on-week. It's only 5% down week-on-week, but yeah, 43% lower year-on-year. A lot of that is going to be refis because, again, what happened here recently, rates have moved a quarter, a half, which is significant. This is going to keep some demand on the sideline. It's going to turn some yes answers to no answers. But at the moment, we still have a ridiculous supply problem. And if we take off 10, even 20% of the market, we will still have plenty of demand. We have ING talking about the 10-year note, which again is what roiled the markets last week when it popped to 1.61. They're talking about the 10-year exceeding 2% this year. I have also talked about that. I think it is very likely. They talked about it perhaps hitting that in the next 90 days. I think left to its natural devices, absolutely. But I believe the Fed's going to come in with what I've shared, Operation Twist, and they're going to do everything they can to keep that below 2% this year. I think they'll probably win, right? Don't bet the Fed. And then 2022, they're going to lose control. They're not going to be able to keep it that low. So, but we will see. Inflation, CPI, Consumer Price Index came out this morning. I always find it interesting. It was up 0.4, kind of as expected. And then they've always put out the X food, X energy, and that was up 0.1%. I'm like, what consumer doesn't buy food or energy? I mean, why is that number there? It's pretty crazy. But in the end, I think inflation is about to get hotter. We are about to release more stimulus. A family of 4 is going to get a check, a potential check of $5,600. That's a lot of coin, right? Pretty crazy. So a lot of spending, as we saw in January. Again, go back to January. Retail sales were up in January when the measly $600 check came out. Now we're talking about over $5,000. It's going to have an impact. All the companies we've talked about in the last 14 business days, right? 3 weeks about supply chain disruptions and can't meet demand. We are about to see some inflation. I found it interesting. I read an article about millennials. As you know, I believe we need to watch what the millennials are doing because I think they are going to be the largest market mover in many markets going forward. And an article was kind of like, are you kidding me? Why? Sometimes I don't understand what people are doing, but this article researched millennials and found that 51% of millennials are having a difficult time saving 20% for a down payment. My first answer is everybody has a problem saving 20% for a down payment. My next reaction is we need to do a better job of educating first-time buyers, and in this case, millennials, that you don't need 20%. All you need is 3.5%. So shame on banks, shame on schools, shame on all these folks for not letting new buyers know that, you know what, you don't have to have 20% to get on the property ladder. I've already talked about stimulus. It's clearly going to get signed or approved in the House today. It probably ends up on President's desk today, maybe tomorrow. Big old ceremony, and then checks start coming by the end of the month. We are definitely going to be swimming in vaccines as soon as late April or early May. It looks like we've just agreed to buy another 100 million doses from J&J. So again, kind of what I was thinking about, right? We're getting right to the end of this. We're going to have plenty of vaccines for whoever wants it. We're going to have $5,000 in a family of 4's pocket, and it's going to be a pretty good year, I think. One question I have is, it looks like from the first set of stimulus, 159 million Americans got a check. That's roughly half, give or take, right? Roughly half, 48%, I think. And the thing that I'm struck with is, perhaps our goal between now and the next crisis is to increase our financial literacy, talking about money. Maybe the goal should be, maybe next time, the next crisis, more of us don't need that. I don't know, small thoughts. But again, that would mean some sacrifice, delayed gratification, things that consumers generally aren't good at. So that's just something I'm left with. I saw a question earlier about Brian Lebo, great broker or an agent from Vegas. I will reach out to him today. I reached out to him on the 3rd, so a week ago, and he said he needed some time to pull the data together. So I haven't followed up. I will ping him shortly, and I'm sure we'll get him scheduled. So at the end, everybody have a wonderful day. Today we speak with Anna and Matt, the mortgage guy, I believe. All right, take care.